this heaven? No. It's Iowa.
From high school to international wrestling, on the mat and beyond, this is the Potentially Dangerous Podcast with the guys from IA Wrestle.
If you're a fighter, you like a fight. If you're an American, you like a fight. If you're an Iowa Hawkeye, you know you're going to get a fight.
Subscribe to our podcast on iTunes and all your podcast-friendly apps. And follow us on social media platforms at IA Wrestle. Time to strap it up and get to the show. All right, welcome to IA Wrestle's Potentially Dangerous here. Tony Hager, back at it. We've been rolling out some podcasts, video podcasts, podcast shows. Super pumped to be able to talk wrestling. People in studio. Last week we had Coach Schultz on with the Dubuque Wrestling Club, and he was able to kind of shine a light in what's going on at Dubuque. Dubuque is they're trying to ramp up their wrestling at all levels, and obviously Mark Schultz is a part of that. I'm going out to Dubuque actually this weekend. I was just in Sioux City looking at some possible venues for a night of conflict, and Sioux City, man, I'm telling you. This is going to be a place that I imagine some people are going to be putting some wrestling events. Great location. I'm not sure exactly if we're going to do anything out there yet or not. Again, going to Dubuque this weekend to check out some facilities. So super pumped about that. So other than that, no announcements on Night of Conflict. If you did order a Sanction IA shirt or a Girls Wrestle 2 or an I Wrestle hat, I've got a ton of orders that I just did there the last couple of days, so I'll be looking for those to hit your mailbox soon. So thank you for supporting us and mainly supporting Girls Wrestling Iowa. All the proceeds, even from an I Wrestle hat to a Girls Wrestle 2, all the proceeds from that single store raised over $2,000, and we're going to be putting something out here of how high school clubs or little kids clubs that are trying to start girls wrestling Iowa can use some of these funds, because let's be real, like money isn't growing on trees right now, right? And people aren't giving it out. So it was thankful for everybody that ordered a shirt. $3, $5 a shirt that was able to go back, to raise over $2,000 was super grateful for the wrestling community. So we're looking forward to getting that out in the hands, obviously your gear, but mainly the money, which was about to see what clubs need it and what they're going to do it with. So on the show today, we've been talking about having him on here a couple weeks on the shows, and it's finally here. Austin Gomez, Iowa State, NCAA qualifier a couple years. He's been sitting off the mat, it seems like, since he got to Iowa State. So excited to get into kind of personal life, wrestling, and where we're going in 2021. Hopefully we get to see all wrestlers on the mat, but I got to imagine that Iowa State fans are excited to see Austin back on the mat and healthy, and really see anybody, but Austin in particular, just because he has not been on the mat for a long time. So without further ado, let's get to our guest. Austin, thanks for coming in, man. I know you were out in Illinois for a while. We're back at school, so I appreciate you taking the time.
No, yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
So school started Monday. So do you have any homework yet, or?
I got some homework to do tonight.
Damn, man.
There's some reading to do.
So online? Are you online? Are you in studio?
I got 2 classes that are in class, just Tuesday through Wednesday, Thursday, and I'm done by 11 o'clock. Then I got 4 classes online.
Okay.
So. And
you told me off air, so you're going to be graduating in spring.
Yeah, I'll be done in the spring with school. My 4-year plan. So.
4-year plan.
Yep.
Was that? When you came to Iowa State, was that something that you set out you wanted to do, or is that just something that kind of progressed?
Yeah, it's something I wanted to do just so I could have my 5th year be as kind of laid back and relaxed. Don't have to worry about school that much. But yeah, just 4 years is what I wanted to do.
And has it gone the way you thought it was going to? Did you have hard classes?
I've definitely had some hard ones, and I've had some good ones, but school's going good.
When you got what was your major?
I'm business marketing.
Business marketing. Was that what you wanted to go into when you got here? Okay.
Yep.
So you didn't switch?
No, started off right away in the business.
Okay. Is there a school business at Iowa State that you had to get into, or is this just?
Yeah. So when I first got to Iowa State, I had to take core classes for business, and Iowa State's a big business school, so it's one of the best. And so I had to get a certain GPA and certain grades just to get accepted into the business school. So I did that and everything's going good.
Good, man. Well, so you're on pace to graduate.
Yeah.
That's the goal, right? Is to graduate, but obviously wrestling and how to being a high level wrestler. That's I want to say that's probably why you went to Iowa State, but business is what you want to go into.
Yeah.
So I know that your old man he's got a successful tree. I mean, tree is he doesn't climb, but
No,
I mean,
he doesn't climb anymore.
did he at one point?
He did at one point.
Okay.
Then he started gaining a little bit of weight, and so he just stopped. He's got actually
They got the cherry
bucket
pickers
truck.
now. Yeah.
We got a bucket truck now that he'll go up once in a while, start cutting down. But
So are you planning on taking that over? You want to do your own deal or what?
I don't know what I want to do. I just want to do something, I guess, business related or wrestling related. But I mean, if I have to go in tree business, I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'll take over.
Did your dad being in, owning his own, or your family,
Mhm.
your mom and dad owning a business, is that what made you want to go into that? Or how did you kind of come to this realization that you wanted to be like a part of a business or kind of be in the part of the marketing?
There's just so much you can do with a business degree, I guess. Like, you either use it or you're not going to use it. But business, yeah, I can promote my dad's wrestling club, promote his tree business, promote myself, really, and market myself. So that's why I got into it. It just seemed interesting to me.
And you've always been so here in Iowa, we don't pay attention to Illinois a whole lot, right? So we started iWrestle probably when you were getting ready to come out of high school, right? So I didn't really know a lot about the national scene, but I remember we wanted you in Night of Conflict at one point in time. Geez, I don't even know when that was.
It was definitely my senior year. I was supposed to wrestle with Thompson. I think I got hurt.
Alex Thompson. Yeah, you got hurt right before he had to pull out. So I do remember that. And then you wrestled in. Did you wrestle in Agon?
I wrestled in Agon.
Yeah, you wrestled in Agon. Who'd you wrestle there?
Justin Mejia.
Justin Mejia. So he was going to. Were you committed to Iowa State at that point?
No, I wasn't.
Okay, so he was Iowa though. He had committed early.
Yeah, he wore an Iowa singlet and everything.
Dude, I remember when you you came into that arena and you did the.
Yeah.
Was that did you do that prior, or like in other matches in high school, or was that just kind of a one thing with the Hawkeye fans?
No, I think it was after my sophomore year, I believe, where I wrestled Renteria in the state finals, and so everyone was talking crap, saying, "Oh, Renteria's gonna beat him. I think the whole assembly hall in Champaign, Illinois, University of Illinois, was against me in that match. Besides my high school team. So it was just a big thing because he beat me the week prior at our sectional tournament. It was like double overtime. So to get that win and just to shut everybody up in Illinois, ever since I've been growing up, people in Illinois have wanted me to lose.
Really?
I don't know what it is, but they have always been against me. And I've had to prove everyone wrong basically since I've been 12 years old.
Were you just successful early on that people hate winners, right? So
yeah,
is that why you think, or
maybe I think so? Then like my dad opened up his club, and then we were just a new team. Then we just started beating everybody.
Gotcha.
We dueled state titles and stuff like that, and everybody didn't like my dad just because the way he coached. He's just a hard guy, and so everyone was just against Gomez Wrestling Academy and what we were about and what we were trying to do.
what were some of the names that went through that club with you that people might know that don't know a lot about your club or Glenn Bard?
Brian Murphy is one of them. He All-American at University of Michigan. Same high school. I've been family friends with him for a long time. Brian Murphy sticks out. Man, we've had a couple other guys like go to Stanford and just wrestle locally, but Murphy is like one of the names that kind of sticks out to us. Yeah.
So was he part of, you say?
Abasad went through Gomez.
Abasad?
Yep. Yeah, he was with us for a while, then switched over to Izzy. So
Izzy's kind of taken over a little bit out there, right? I mean,
yeah,
I'd imagine.
could say so.
Yeah.
I mean, all the guys want to go to them.
Yeah.
Just because they got, I guess, good partners or the best partners in Illinois. So,
so you say like, club dual team. I imagine you're talking before high school, right?
Yeah,
or
before
are you talking,
high school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was your dad a part of your high school coaching staff too, or
No.
how did that work?
No, he wasn't. It was just you're going to high school now. We're going to give all the coaching over to Coach Hahn at Glenbard North, who is a historic coach in Illinois. Winningest coach, I think, maybe in Illinois in high school. He's coached guys like Tony Ramos, Brian Murphy, Jared Cortez, Abe Assad, me, and just so many big names. Vince Ramos, Tony's brother, that he just had so many successful guys go through that program, and it put a name on the map for Glenbard North. So once I got into high school, my dad was like, all right, you can, during the high school season, he's your coach, I'm your dad, but during the summertime, I'm your coach. So It was a good relationship. And even during the season, I'd come in and work out like after practice, after my high school practice, and get some extra workouts in. But
What about Mark Schultz?
Mark Schultz, yeah. Mark Schultz, yeah.
Hey, Mark, you didn't get mentioned next to Tony Ramos. That's, hey, no big deal. No big deal, man. Okay, so when Tony Ramos, everyone knows, what he's about, right? And, you doing the shush, everyone's like, okay, maybe that's just how those guys roll out there. Was he a guy that you looked up to growing up?
Yeah, huge guy looked up to growing up. I mean, growing up in Illinois, around the Glenbard North area where we're from, Tony Ramos is the guy you look up to. First 3-time state champ for our high school, and that was a big ordeal. So I wanted to wrestle like him. I wanted to be like him, who he was on and off the mat. And then we grew a relationship, such forth, when he was at Iowa and high school and stuff like that. So I've known Tony for a really long time.
Was there ever a time that you thought that you would be a Hawkeye because of, following Tony, or no?
There was a little bit, but then I was like, I really don't want to just go to Iowa. There's nothing against him. I just didn't want to be part of the program just because some of the things I heard about the program. It's just not something I want to go somewhere else.
I think I imagine as somebody, and maybe you talked to Tony, I'm not sure who, but it doesn't matter. But I mean, when you look up to somebody, you see them in a singlet as they go on, and I mean, any program, right? So I mean, people now are probably looking up to guys like you, right, that are from the Ames area or whatever it may be, and they're like, I want to be a Cyclone someday or Hawkeye someday, and then some people just don't have that opportunity to even fulfill that, right? Yeah. So, was I guess we mentioned Tony, but like, who else did you look up to when you were growing up in Illinois?
Growing up in Illinois, Brian Murphy was one of them. Again, someone I've known for a very long time, family friends, very good wrestler. Looked up to Metcalf growing up, even though he's not from Illinois, but he was just a household name in the national scene. That's someone I wanted to wrestle like and be like, and just all around good guy.
It's crazy how that's all come around, I guess. Now, Tony's not at Iowa anymore. Metcalf is at Iowa State. You're there. It's been talked about quite a bit of just, you committing to Iowa State, decommitting, KJ going, then coming back. And obviously Dresser was able to get you back on staff or back on campus. So that's been talked a lot about, right? At Iowa State, let's just go right to there, right? Yeah. I mean, you coming in, big name. Did you feel like you were a big name coming in? Did you like the Iowa State fans, staff, like be like, okay, like, we gotta treat Austin maybe better than maybe another wrestler or two. Different staff at the time, but did you feel that coming in?
Yeah, kind of. But now, like, I knew in high school, like, I was coming in, big recruit out of, like, I think I was top 10 in my recruiting class coming out of high school. But I knew right away that college wrestling is a whole different level than high school wrestling. The top-bottom game is a whole lot different. Your feet you got to be much more precise on your feet. So I felt like I was a big name, but I knew right away that I got to go back, like, hey, everyone's a 3-4-time state champ. Everyone's good in college. Yeah. Everyone's not that good in high school. There's a lot of matches where you go out and pin the guy in 30 seconds, most of your matches. So coming into college, I was just like, I got to make a name for myself again. It's just how it was.
When you got on campus, who were some of the guys that you were rolling with? Was there anybody that just humbled you right away?
Yeah, so my first college practice, I think it was a couple weeks after I lost at World Team Trials to Mitch McKee that year. I had practice with Chase Straw.
Okay.
And that dude beat the crap out of me. I think I was on my back for about 45 minutes.
Damn.
The whole practice. And he's putting his shirt in my mouth, all sweaty and everything. It was the worst practice of my life. He was waterboarding me. It was awful.
Is that just how he wrestles everybody, or are they just like, hey, let Austin know that this is college now?
No, Chase Straw's a hard-nosed kid, and he's going to come after you no matter who you are.
Put a wet shirt that he's got on his body in your mouth.
Yep.
While you're on your back.
Yep.
Sick.
He did not care.
That is great.
I think after that practice, I just went in my room and just laid there for hours. I was just like, what the heck just happened?
So how many was that the first practice you said?
That was my first ever college practice.
Holy cow! So you're going into this practice a little chip on your shoulder because those trials, that's the one that I guess controversial call, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So I can imagine a little bit of a chip on your shoulder, and you're going in a room that you really are trying to, as a freshman, trying to, I guess, try to be, who people think you are, maybe, right? Yeah. So that's what college is all about, I think.
No, yeah, he laid it on me. It was bad.
Have you gotten him back?
Oh yeah, I got him back. We wrestled, I think it was last summer. I got him back. It was a good scrap. I definitely wasn't on my back for 45 minutes getting a t-shirt in my mouth, but I've gotten him back.
T-shirt in his mouth, or what'd you do to him?
No, I just wear shirtless, but
you just took care of it on the mat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. So your red shirt freshman year, and you literally have had some injuries throughout your career. Mm-hmm. So I kind of want to just go down and through each season, just through your, we're not in the media room anymore, so it's not. I want you to kind of just be as open as you possibly can. Take me through kind of your redshirt freshman year, ups and downs. What got you through that season, I guess.
No, yeah. So basically, my true redshirt freshman year. Yep. The week before Cyclone Open, I was wrestling good. I was like, hey, I'm here to make a name for myself, even though I'm not competing this year with an Iowa State singlet on. It's like, hey, I got something to prove. Then a week before Cyclone Open is when I get knocked in the head for the first time in college and went down. I was out until January. So I had these high expectations coming in. I was like, hey, I can't wait to wrestle. Put a stop to it. So I was out with concussion all the way till January. My first open was in January at Whitewater Open. That's when I first wrestled. So that stung a lot. And then after that season, I finished that season off great. Didn't lose a match in all the opens. Beat a couple good guys. Then made the world team, junior world team. It's something I had set out to do. I wanted to go win a world title. Wrestling practice, knee pops. Partially tore my MCL. They either told me I can wrestle the world championships and make it worse and possibly sit out the whole college season, or I can get surgery and be ready for college. I said, you know what? I'm going to get ready for college and be there for my team because I'm a team guy. I put my team before myself, so I want the team to win before I want to win. So
was that an instant decision, do you think, or do you remember kind of weighing it?
No, yeah, it was instantly what I wanted to do. It was I talked to St. John a lot about it, Dresser, Metcalf. They told me you can do what you want to do. Mm-hmm. And I said, no, I want to get the surgery because I don't want to make it worse. And I don't want to have any more problems than what I already have. It's like, all right, we're going to do the surgery and get it done.
Did the surgery go planned?
Oh, yeah, it went as planned.
Yeah.
I think I was out for about a month, and then I started picking it back up again and then started wrestling. Going back to obviously 2 injuries within the year, with your concussion, was it one that you knew that you needed to sit out, or was it one that the trainers were like, no, you can't come back? Well, yeah,
or doctors.
I was in a daze for about 2 weeks after I got hit in the head. I just didn't go to class. I couldn't do anything. All I could do was sleep because I had bad headaches. I couldn't pass concussion protocol. So it was just something that trainers like, no, we need to take our time with this, because now head injuries are nothing to be played with, nothing to mess around with. So before I wanted to go back, it's like I need to take care of my health and make sure that I'm 100% ready before I step back on the mat.
Where was your mind at that point? You know, were you still like, you know, no big deal? And you just said, like, you say that, but like, were you like, man, I want to just go out there? Or did you truly say, like, I have got to take care of myself because this is not good?
No, yeah, I wanted to get back on the mat so bad. I just wanted to wrestle. So I came to college to do is wrestle.
Yeah.
And I was pushing a little bit too hard, trying to wrestle, trying to work out. But the first thing with concussions is once you start feeling better, you can start lightly working out. And you can't, like, you have to go through a whole workout without a headache. So for a while there, I was going through, like, workouts, like 10 minutes in, I just wouldn't start feeling good. So it was just something that we had to take time to heal. And just a head heals itself. You can't do anything to help that. There's some exercises now that we know that it helps with my head. But yeah, it's just, I wanted to be back out there, but I'd take care of myself.
All right, so MCL after right before the World Championships, you get it repaired, and then so you're going into your redshirt freshman season at that point, okay, and you're feeling good. Walk me a little through, you know, the start of the season. How did, I guess, that season transpire for you?
People say I could have a good year, but it's not how I wanted to finish. But yeah, beginning of the year was good. Got solid win over DeSantos, but really put my name back on the map.
Yep. That
I was here and I'm here to compete for a national title. And then doing good, all wrestling good. And then Southern Scuffle hits. I think I'm undefeated by then beat RBY. I think I was down big or something like that and got a pin. So everything was going good, I guess. And then wrestled Fix, and that's when my first loss came. So wrestled him. And at that point, I lost him by, I think, 2 points. At that point, I'm like, hey, he's one of the top guys in the country at 133. If I can hang with him or try to beat him, you know, I can win a national title this year. So that was going good. Got a couple bumpy losses. Got pinned by a kid from Ryder. A couple bumpy losses. And that the whole year I was battling weight a lot. 133 is hard for me to make. And it's just, during winter break, I got all the way up to 150. Rest making 133. So wow. I had to cut about 15 pounds to get down to the Southern Scuffle weight. And that took a toll on me because through January, I was up and down, up and down. I'd make weight fine. It's just I'd explode right back up because my body just had to get used to transitioning back into weight form again. So I going good. Wrestled Fix again in the duel. Right there, right where I needed to be. Lost on a locked hands call and a riding time point. So right when I lost that, I was like, hey, there's something we need to work on. It's bottom. So I worked on bottom religiously after that match, and it started to pay off and roll around. I don't think I lost after that. Still having a good year towards the end of the season, feeling great. Then John Ernest comes and got in a sloppy match with that against Missouri. First time I've ever been teched, I think, in my career. College career, it's kind of ridiculous that you're getting teched in college. It was just a sloppy match.
Was weight? Or did you have a bad weight cut or anything?
No,
wasn't ready.
Just a sloppy match. That kid's funky, and I rolled right into all of his positions, right where he wanted me, and he put me on my back multiple times. Got spladled. Kid's good. I think he All-American that year. Then Big 12s rolls around, wrestling good. Lost in the semis to Montori Bridges, who was the All-American year before. Yeah. Good kid. Yeah. Lost by 1. Finish off taking third at Big 12s, and then NCAAs. Draws come out. Boom, I love where I am. Because I think I had Brandon Patel first round from Lehigh. Everyone said he was going to beat me. Like, I read him flow and everything. He's like, oh, Patel's beating Gomez. I went out and majored him. So I was kind of like, hey, this dude.
Prove another person wrong. Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And so next round I had Mickey Filippi from Pitt. Good guy, beat Fix that year, 4 seed. So I was like, hey, this is a winnable match. I can go out there and beat this guy. Couldn't get a takedown. Couldn't get out of bottom. So I didn't even choose bottom because he's good on top. But I think probably should have chose bottom just to test my luck. If I give a riding time point, I know I can either get a stalk or go get another takedown. But that was a deal there. And then backside got a win. Then beat Montori Bridges in overtime, which is a good feeling, which sent me into the round of 12.
Mm-hmm.
Then got rolled up by DeSanto going to that match. Derek St. John told me before this match, he looked at me and he said, just let it fly. And that's what I did, and I got put to my back right away. I think I was going for a mixer, and that match ate at me for a long time, and it still does because I know I can beat him.
Yeah. You're known for, letting it fly. That's probably what he was. You're known for big moves.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess you live and you die by the sword sometimes,
you live
right?
And you die by the sword.
Did you? That's where I kind of wanted to get to is that match because mentally, you're going into Carver, beat him. Not a lot of people can do that at a young age, right?
Carver's a hard place to win in.
Yes. For Hawkeyes too, but because of the pressure. But so I want you to kind of put your mindset where you're at going into that match versus the NCAA match. Were you more nervous? Were you more excited? Do you remember those feelings?
Yeah, so the first match, DeSanto and Carver, we were down by 2. I think we were down by 3. I was like, all right, well, I need a major to win. Then Kevin St. John talked me back in the tunnel like, hey, just don't worry about the team. Get the win. That's what's more important is you winning. So I was like, all right. So going to the match, he took me down. I got an escape. I took him down. A couple more escapes. I think he took me down again. It was like, I think it was 8-8 going into the third period after all this like review and stuff like that. And we were wrestling. He took a sloppy shot. I was in front head. I felt him have an underhook, pushing in hard, and I was just like, screw it. So I just went for it, put him to his back. I swear he was pinned. But right when I threw him to his back, puke came out of his mouth. I was like, oh, what the hell? So during that.
Did it go on you? Did it land on you?
No, it like landed on the ref. Like I saw it fly out and like hit the ref.
Oh, gross.
No, yeah, it was awful. I was like, while I'm at him, I had him on his back. I was like, this dude did not just puke.
Shit.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, whatever. So I just had to focus on getting the pin because at that point, if I got him on his back, I need to pin him.
Yep.
That's how it is. So, but yeah, that match kind of just like I was just in there to wrestle, and then when the opportunity came, I hit it, and it paid off. Got the win, and then round of 12, I was nervous because this is what your season comes down to.
Yep.
Either makes you or breaks you, and I was going into the match, and I felt it again. Probably wasn't there, and I probably shouldn't have hit the mixer whatsoever, but I did because I was just like, let's go for broke. Probably too early to go for broke, but after that, I was just playing catch up. He caught me on my back, and then I got away, and he dumped me to my back, so I was down 8-2 going into the second. So at that point, I'm playing catch up, and a kid like DeSanto who stays in good position is a really good hand fighter. It's going to be hard to get to him. So at that point, I was just trying to go throw him to his back. I took him down like twice, so I think if I would have stuck fundamental in that match, I would have beat him. But so I guess we'll never know.
So, but you said you've been thinking about that. Like you still think about it, and
yeah.
I know we're bringing it back up, but I mean,
no, yeah, this is my motivation.
It's motivation for you. Yeah,
I got him. In the round of 12 NCAAs, him putting his forearm in the back of my head right at the end of the match. And when I see that, and I wake up in the morning, all I can think is there's work to put in. Because I didn't get what I want. Mm-hmm. So that's my motivation every day is that match.
That's, on this show and on the happy hour show, we wrestling's always like, you can either learn from we learn from our losses, straight up, like boom, like that's, for you, that's your motivation. That's why you're that's why you continue to wrestle with all these injuries. Okay, so there's gonna be probably more that I want to get to on this, but I want you, then so that you're done, right?
Yeah.
So, your family's wrestling, right?
Yeah.
That's what you guys do, right? So, don't get your goal, right? So, what was kind of morale like? Were you worried about maybe what your dad would say, or anything like that? Walk me through those steps a little bit.
Yeah, so after the match, I go in a dark place and cry for about 30 minutes just because my heart just got broken. My dreams got crushed of being an All-American. First, my dreams got crushed because I lost on the front side. Couldn't be a national champ, but there was still work to do, and I didn't get it done on the backside. So after I got done crying, I realized that, hey, I still have 3 other teammates that are in the round of 12s and that need to get a win to be an All-American. So I started putting my focus on them. And once I did that, I went upstairs and saw my parents and just told them I'm sorry. Like, I didn't do anything. And both my parents said, don't be sorry. You have nothing to put your head down about. You had a great year. Just came up short. And when I lose, my parents are so supportive in a loss like that because they know how much I'm hurting and they know that I can do so much better. And just that's behind you now. Now you go focus on the next best thing. So my dad was just so welcoming. My mom was so welcoming. My sisters, my girlfriend, just like, it's okay. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah. And that's hard for anybody to, when you don't get what you want, whether it's wrestling or anything, if you can't do it unless you got those people around you. Like some people you can stay in a dark place like you were, which is understandable, right? Or you can get yourself out of it, right?
Yep.
So, all right. So NCAA is over. Iowa State as a team has got some momentum.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Take me through the summer because I know freestyle, senior level wrestling, junior level wrestling is important to you. How was your health at that point? Take me through the summer.
Yeah, I was 100% healthy coming out of the season. Nothing wrong with me. It felt good. My body was just beat down. I was just sore and really tired. And I talked to St. John about it. He's like, you just need a break. We're going to take the summer off. You need a break. And I'm going to listen to whatever my coaches tell me. So did that. Just focused on training and focused on getting back to fundamentals and working on my wrestling. And so that's like big. My parents are kind of upset because I'm a freestyle guy.
Yeah.
I love international style. I love freestyle. I guess some people, that's like my best style.
You got the golden boot.
Oh, yeah. I got 2 of them.
Yeah.
Yep.
You got the boot, man. I love that trophy.
Yeah.
But anyway, sorry to interrupt. I remember seeing your picture of having that boot, and I was like, damn, that's a badass trophy. Dude.
Yeah, I got it in freestyle and Greco.
Yeah.
So that was nice. But yeah, just my parents were a little upset, but just, hey, I'm going to listen to whatever my coaches, they know what's best for me. So they told me I just needed a break, and I had a long break, just really long break. So it's just, I was a little bummed out, but whatever. It doesn't really matter to me. I'm here to college wrestling. So were you rolling around at all? Oh yeah, I was rolling around.
Just no competition.
Yep, no competition. So I took about a 2-month break. Okay. I didn't do anything, and that's where my weight explodes.
How big did you get up? Because you said you rolled that 150 around Christmas.
Yeah, so I got up. Right the 2 days after nationals, I checked my weight. I was 154 already, and I weighed 133 2 days ago.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and then got my weight shot up to about 63, 65, and then just didn't do the right things in my social life. Wrestling to me just wasn't that important because I had nothing to train for. I wasn't wrestling freestyle. So I was like, all right, I guess I'm just going to do what I want this summer. And then kind of kicked me in the butt during preseason a little bit. So
what was so you got up to, and that's you shot 30 pounds.
Yeah.
Right. Do you think, and I think it's important for wrestlers, that are coming up through the ranks, I guess, or going into college is, looking at that scale. Do you still weigh yourself every day during that time when your scales, your weight's going up, right?
Yeah, I still weigh
so
myself.
So is it, So in the back of your mind, kind of what's going, I know what goes through my head. I'm not even competing. I'm like, all right, well, I'll just cut it. I'll start cutting tomorrow.
Yeah.
Was there just a vicious cycle for you?
Yeah, I checked my weight and just didn't look closely at my diet. It's like, all right, I need to start getting it down. Just never did. And bit me in the butt, and just diet's so important in college wrestling, living the right lifestyle 24/7.
So preseason, you're at what?
Coming in the preseason, I got it down during the summer. Coming in the preseason, I was weighing 55, 58 area, but I was still 25 pounds overweight. So I was just getting down during preseason, got down to 143. I was going to be out for first couple meets just because my weight wasn't where it needed to be. So that's what that happened, and then get hit again, another concussion. So,
and what was your? See, I mean, you're already battling your ass off to get down to weight, which isn't easy.
No,
from coming where you're at,
mm-hmm.
And then you get hit. And was it a different feeling than your redshirt freshman year, or was it kind of the same? Did you know right away that it was not good?
I knew right away. Got knocked out. I think I was out for like 30 seconds to a minute maybe. Just got hit right in the sweet spot, right in the temple. I was just laying there, and I tried to stand up, and I kind of wobbled. So I knew something. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't gonna be pretty. And so when that got hit last season, wasn't right for about a month. I didn't do any school, no class for a month. And luckily my professors were totally understandable with that, and they knew what I was going through. So they were very helpful on that end. But no, I was getting pressured a lot just to feel good by my parents. Like, you're fine, you're fine, you're fine.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't know how I felt. And then once I had to go see a specialist out in Pittsburgh about my concussion, see what was going on with me, why am I getting hit in the head so much, and why am I getting the reaction?
Why are you getting knocked out?
Yeah. Yep. So we finally figured that out, what was going on, and everything was there. He told me, he's like, is there a possibility for you to get a medical redshirt? And I said, yeah, because I haven't stepped on a mat whatsoever. Like, no competition. I just had to wrestle off. Then I wrestled with Parker. But he's like, all right, here's a plan. I don't want you to wrestle this year. So I was really bummed because I wanted to make up for last season. And going this long without wrestling, I didn't know what to do, so I just started focusing on schoolwork. And it was last season hurt a lot. I was emotionally high, emotionally down a lot. Just didn't know what to do really, and it was tough on me.
Were you a little bit relieved at the time when he said, Austin, you're not going to be able to wrestle this year? Or were you like, I'm done?
I was relieved. It was a lot of weight off my back. I didn't have to worry anymore. The pressure wasn't on me to get back and hurry up and get back for the second part of the season. So it was a big relief off my shoulders.
Yeah,
and
emotionally.
Yeah. I just didn't have to know what everybody was thinking. Like, didn't have to hear talk from people all over Twitter like, oh, he's out because he's fat and stuff like that. It's just like, no, I have an injury that I need to take care of and I need to heal.
So through the season, were you said you were in a bad place. So was it because, were you able to, did you come in the room, or did you want to be in there at all?
No, yeah, it's because when I'm in that room and I got a concussion, like as bad as I did, if I'm looking at any type of bright lights, as soon as after concussion, I immediately start getting dizzy and start, like, I can't focus on anything. I'll start, like, almost trying to, like, throw up. And so I was out of the room for about a week or 2 weeks. Trainer, luckily we have a great trainer at Iowa State, Tim Wiesner, who took good care of me and knew what I needed to get done to get back on the mat whenever I could. So it's just he's like, come in whenever you want. Whenever you feel like coming in, you know you can withstand watching practice and hearing all the noise and all the whistles and all the screaming. That once you can do that, just come on in. Just take a break for yourself for a while is what he told me. So
you get into schoolwork.
Yep.
You're able to do that though, right?
Yeah, my teachers were awesome about it. I could make up everything and make up exams, homework, and everything, and they're great about that. So
what was it about that? I mean, you're out of the room, you get into schoolwork, trying to get in where your mind right? Mm-hmm. But what kept on? What do you think? What was it that put you in that bad spot? I guess because you started gaining weight again, right? Mm-hmm. So started gaining weight. So what kind of put you? Was it just? I guess I'll let you explain. Yeah, what was it?
Yeah, just knowing that I just wanted to wrestle so bad. Not like I knew once I got hit in the head, I was like, oh crap. Like I could either put me in a bad place as I thought I was done. I thought my career was over. Mm-hmm. I thought that I was going to go to the doctor in Pittsburgh. He's going to tell me that you're done wrestling. So I had to consciously think about that while I was sitting in the wrestling room watching these guys practice. Like, hey, I may never step on a mat again and wrestle and compete for Iowa State or for myself or my family. So that was really big on me. But once I heard him say, you're not done. Your wrestling career is not over. That was put me in a good spot again. Because like, hey, I'm going to get healthy and I'm going to wrestle again. So it was tough. It was
a year. I mean, 133 pound, that weight class was tough last year, and then I mean, a lot of those guys, obviously DeSanto gets a ton of publicity, right? Mm-hmm. So I gotta imagine that was just like, fuck, that should be me, Yep. I imagine a little bit of that too. Okay, so we this is where we're at now, right? So looking forward to the season unfortunately ends, right, for everybody on the team, which sucks, right?
Yeah, it sucks because I was in there training with the guys. I was able to step on a mat like once I got healthy and everything. I started running again, biking again mid-January. I was able to step on a mat in February. So I was traveling with the guys back like all across the country. Wherever we went, I was going with the team because coach knew that he wanted me with the team and that he knew what that was best for me and not being in Ames while they were traveling. So right at that point, bring my weight back down. It's right where it needs to be. Season gets canceled. Boom, season's over. We were looking forward to going to U23s. That's when I was going to wrestle again. That gets canceled. So, like this, it's been a whirlwind of a summer.
Yeah, I gotta imagine. And so not only that, too, it was very public that your father came down with COVID, and it wasn't just as simple as, hey, he's positive, quarantine for a little while. He's in ICU. And this is for a long time. So how and then there's GoFundMe. All this stuff was really public again. Yeah. You're in the public eye normally, have been. So, but not for the right. Not a good thing, right? Yeah. So, when a time when maybe your dad has been there, your family's been there. I guess what was going through your head when maybe it wasn't about you at this point. Now it's about your dad. You take me through those little, when you heard or you knew it was like actually serious.
Yeah. So he first got COVID the end of May, I think it was. June? I think it was end of June. I was going back to Ames because I was just with him for about a week. Going back to Ames, and we think he caught it from work.
Okay.
So he's worked during the whole COVID thing. He was working, we were working, I was working with him. So I think he got it from work. I went back to Ames on Saturday. He wasn't feeling good. He's urinating blood and everything like that. And then Sunday night, my mom notices in bed that his lips are turning blue. So he's not in purple. So he's not getting oxygen. Wow. So my parents immediately call our family doctor and they're like, hey, what do we need to do? And our family doctor said, you need to take him to emergency room right now. My dad didn't want to go.
He's stubborn son of a bitch, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
I mean, him and I have had some texts and calls back and forth. He's stubborn.
Yeah, he's stubborn dude, but
he went. So he goes.
So yeah, he goes, and the doctor said my mom wouldn't have taken me to the hospital, he wouldn't have made it through the night.
Wow.
So hearing that, so found out once he gets to the hospitals, his lungs are collapsed. He's got COVID. For 2 weeks, I thought I was never going to see my dad again.
Mm-hmm.
And that put a toll on me mentally. I'm a very quiet guy. I don't like to express my emotions a lot to people. And so I didn't talk to anybody. I cried for 2 weeks in my bedroom in Ames because I was around him, so I had to quarantine myself. So I was alone for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And crying, thought I was never going to see my dad again. But once like the third and fourth week hit around, he started getting better and started getting better. Every single day is 1% better, 1% better. So once I knew that he was getting better, it's kind of relief because I was getting negative thoughts in my head when I heard thought he was going to die. When the doctor said I'm not going to make it, I thought I was going to have to move home, start running the business, and that's it for wrestling. Like I don't care. I need to go home, take care of my family, be with my mom, my sisters. But once I heard the news that he's getting better, we talked to him we talked to doctors every day, talked to him every day. It was like, okay, now I can start getting back to training, to focusing on him and going to work with my mom, and just everything was going to be okay because he's going to pull through.
Mm-hmm.
And then he started making his recoveries. We FaceTimed him every day, talking to us on the phone. He had a trach in his neck, so he couldn't talk. So he was trying to mouth words to us, and now it's so hard to see.
Oh.
Just to see him like that. Like, it's like knowing that he can't talk and say what he's feeling. It was hard. So it was a lot of lows during that time for 7 weeks. And then the high started coming. And it was like, hey, I'm going to see my dad again.
What was the wrestling community's outreach? Did people?
Yeah, so my sister Alexis first went on Twitter about it. I wasn't going to say anything about it. I didn't, like, obviously my coaches know, my teammates know, because I told them what I was going through and why I won't be in Ames and stuff like that. I'm going to go home. They knew, and then once my sister put something out on Twitter, I was like, all right, I'm a quiet guy. I don't want anybody to know family business or stuff like that. But I knew once I put something out that the wrestling community is just welcome us with open arms, and they're going to give us their 100% support and everything like that. So I wasn't going to do anything, but I did because I knew it was best for him.
Mm-hmm. That you've probably seen the wrestling community, right, and rally around other people and for various things, right? You never want to like be on the receiving end of that, right? Because something's not good, right? But as somebody that, for yourself, that has been in so many lows in the last 4 years, the sport has way more levels than just being an All-American or being a D1 athlete, right? Did it give you any sense of that? Spiritually or mentally, be like, this sport is bigger than just me trying to like get down to a weight or your dad, whatever it may be. I guess, what are your thoughts on when you saw that?
Yeah, felt that. I got calls from coaches all over the country saying, hey, we're praying for your dad. We hope he makes it through. But there's so much more to life than just wrestling. Mm-hmm. And you got to understand that. I understand that now, that it doesn't matter what you do in your wrestling career once your wrestling career is over. You're going to get a job or something like that, and your wrestling credentials don't really matter. But yeah, there's something so much bigger than wrestling, and my parents have told me that, and Willie's told me that. I talk to him every day about
Willie Miklas, Coach Miklas.
Yeah, Coach Miklas.
Yeah, he's obviously been through.
Yeah, he's been
too.
Yeah, so he's someone I relied on a lot because he had to go through that.
Mm-hmm.
So he's someone I talk to every day, and he just told me, "Don't worry about it all. He's gonna pull through." But yeah, there's no matter what you do credentially in wrestling, if you're in the wrestling community, people are gonna love you because that's just how the wrestling community is.
Yeah,
we all welcome people open arms. So
it's pretty. The greatest thing I think about it. I mean, there's multiple levels, but we're so competitive.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody that's ever wrestled is competitive, and it could be something so stupid. You want to win, right?
Yeah.
And you're arrogant, you're whatever, you just want to win. But you don't want to see any other wrestler. You might hate his guts, but you don't want to see anybody go through shit like that. So the sport always humbles me to be like, man, I don't need to be worrying about trying to get the most page views or breaking news stories and stuff like that. That's the goal, right? I mean, I'm trying to win, right? But things like that, kind of put things in perspective. All right, so let's get off that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Just knowing your dad, the little bit that I do, and how much he sticks up for you. Sticks up for Iowa State wrestling.
Yeah, he's Cyclone fan till he dies, man.
So I'm thankful that. So at that time, I didn't know if he didn't like me, and I didn't know if I didn't like him. But I'm thankful that him and I had a conversation over the phone. Like, you know what, like we really want the same thing. So so I'm glad that we had that conversation. And I've always hoped the best for him. But all right, so let's move on from that. So you're coming back, and we're hoping for a season, right? Obviously, it's out now that January 1st will hopefully be a start date. Can change any day. But a lot of questions, obviously, since your weight. Obviously, that's public, or people talk about it. You've talked about like, people say I'm fat. You got big, right? Yeah. So next year people want, okay, can you get down to 133? And the roster says 41. So so he's not going to 33. So you say it's tough. So is it a realistic thing for you? Do you think healthy, health wise, mental wise, right now, are you in a good spot where 133 is reachable for you?
No, yeah, I'm going 133 this year. Without a doubt, I'm going 33. Now I got all this time to cut my weight. My weight's in a good spot right now, where it's in a good spot because I'm going to the U.S. Nationals in October.
Iowa City?
Yep. So that's where I'm wrestling.
That's your goal right now?
Yep, that's the goal right now. So hopefully I'm wrestling there, injuries aside. But yeah, my weight's in a good spot right now. It's where it needs to be. And I'm working with nutritionists over at Econ Nutrition.
Great.
To help me get down weight. He's got it down to a science for me. Tell me what I need to eat every day, like protein, carbs, fats, and stuff like that. So I've been working for the past month or two now, I want to say, and I am where I need to be with my coaches and with my diet. With
a changed diet, like what's your go-to now? I mean, I can't imagine it's not pizza, but I mean, what's your go-to now for health?
I get just a lot of chicken, a lot of rice, and a lot of veggies, eggs, oatmeal. It's simple, but I just got to do what it takes to win a national title. Because my best spot is 133 to win a national title.
With everything, I mean, just hearing how you're talking about this a little bit, mentally, you sound, talking about it, obviously you're excited, right? But you sound like you're in a better spot than you've been in a long time. Even then, even going through all this crap that you've been going through, like, I mean, it's not easy to say, okay, this is my diet, right? Everyone thinks about what's going on the mat, right? So mentally, what going in your body, like wrestlers are just known to let's just cut weight, right? But there's a better way to do that.
Yeah, it's a better way to do it. And
was there a coach that, I mean, was it just you like say, hey, like I need to get a nutritionist, or was like Metcalf somebody say you need to get your ass in gear or what?
No, they always tell me like that I know what to eat. I know exactly what to eat, and just there's sometimes you just don't want to do it. I live in Chicago, for Christ's sake. Yeah. We have some pretty good dang pizza, so it's hard not to go there and just eat pizza. But Willie Miklas actually reached me out to this guy because he was working with him for a while, and he's like, hey Gomez, you need to go see this guy because he's in this is your best bet to get down to 133. He's going to make you feel good. You're going to feel the best you've ever had. And I'm feeling great right now just from working with this guy.
Good. And how do you feel on the mat?
I feel awesome.
Yeah.
Feeling good. Moving
How's
well.
the knee?
Knee's good. Head's good. Just now that I just have to be a little more calculated, really, not diving in for shots with my head first. Everything set up. You're very technical, and that's something I worked with Metcalf a lot when I was hurt from February all the way to March. I worked with him a lot in St. John and Coach Dresser, but yeah, just
what's one thing that you think you missed the most now that you're back in the room and training and stuff from like the last year of not being able to compete?
Just actually going out there and putting on a singlet and making it real. That's what I miss. You can have the best practice of your life, but you don't know how good you actually are getting or how better you're getting until you put it out on the mat against not just your teammates.
And you've been wrestling in the barn?
Yeah.
The barn's a real thing. Yep. I've seen some videos of it. So that's, whoever helped you guys with that, then that's,
Dwight
I'm sure.
Henson, it's guys that we know helps out with that. So
that's good. That's great. Hopefully other people around the country are able to find, people that are able to support them too. I know other people have been able to find places that, to go, RTCs. Thank God we have those.
Yeah.
So the season, we talked a little bit about the team and whatnot, but you're focusing on yourself, getting down to weight, feeling good, graduating, so things are positive right now, man.
I couldn't feel better right now about myself and where I am with my wrestling, with social life and stuff like that. So
Iowa State last year, when you got there's not a ton of hype. Not a ton of hype around like the fans and whatnot.
Yeah.
To see where it was when you first got there to like the last season, the fans alone, that made the right decision, right? You feel like you're a part of that, right?
I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. I love Ames, Iowa. I love Iowa State wrestling. There's nowhere else in the country I would want to be right now other than Iowa State.
Do you see yourself, with your dad's business and your family's business, I guess? Do you see yourself sticking around and wanting to compete through all, even say you don't have any injuries or you go back home? Have you thought that far ahead?
No, not really. I'm just focusing on right now and what's happening right now. But yeah, I'm wrestling once I'm done with college. There's no doubt about it. I love freestyle. That's something I've been passionate about. I've been wrestling freestyle since I've been 6 years old, so love it. But yeah, go home, take over my dad's family tree business, take over the wrestling club if I have to. But yeah, whatever best opportunity that opens up, I'd love to stick around in Ames, Iowa. I would love nothing more.
All right, so I wanted to give an opportunity here. Been going about an hour here with Austin. So if you got any questions for Austin about himself or whatever, he's been answering about any question I throw at him here. So if you got any questions or encouragement or where the hell it may be, I don't care. Throw it in the comment section. Let me know where you're listening from. Looks like Mark Schultz is on here. Dwight Henson's got a couple comments. So thank you guys for watching. He mentioned both of you guys on the show. So if you missed that, you can go back and watch the show anytime. It's on our Facebook page. It's on our Rockfin page for free as well. And sometimes I get around to putting it in podcast form. So I'm just not a big podcast guy anymore. There's just so many podcasts. Like there's so many damn things to choose from that you can listen to on your phone. I got 3 kids, so I just feel like I don't have time sometimes to listen to them. Are you a podcast guy or what are you?
Yeah, the only ones I really like to listen to are I go to church, so my church podcast, I'll listen to that. And then Joe Rogan, of course.
Yeah.
That dude's a guy.
Everyone does.
Yeah. He's awesome with podcasts. But I don't know. I just don't like – the only time I really listen to podcasts when we're traveling on a plane or on a road trip. That's really the only time. Other than that, I'm just hanging out. Don't want to listen to a podcast, really.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about this tattoo, because that's new, right? I don't recognize that sucker.
This tattoo I got during quarantine, I guess. Probably shouldn't have got it, all safety reasons. But my baby brother Santiago, it's my siblings' names. Okay. So I got my oldest sister, my 2 younger sisters, my older sister Marissa, youngest sister Alexis, and youngest sister Gabriella, and then my younger brother Santiago, who passed away when I was 10 years old. He was 14 weeks old, and so I put him on top because he's looking over my sisters and myself. So that's a new one I got around, like, I think it was May, I think. So
Who did that for you? Someone in names? Or go back
yeah,
home?
one of my sister's friends back home.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's very special to me just because I know I always have my family with me and my sisters.
Yeah, was that something that you've been thinking about doing for a while, or just?
No, to be honest with you, I saw it on like some TV show I was watching. This dude had like 3 bands, and he's like, "Yeah, this is for my siblings." And I was like, you know what, that'd be pretty cool to get, and it's very sentimental to me. So I saw the TV show, and like, I think like 3 days later, I was getting
What show?
What show? What's it? It's called Love Island.
Love Island. He's Austin Gomez is a Love Island. Channel 5? Channel 5? Okay, I got
it. It was on
Bachelor
Netflix or Hulu or something.
Okay.
Some stupid. Just something I was watching during quarantine. And I was obsessed with it for some reason because I wanted to know what was happening. And because people get kicked off the show, people get put back on the show. So it was my parents.
So it's like Big Brother type, like a Big Brother Survivor type
yeah.
deal. Okay.
But my parents made fun. Every time they came home and I was watching it, my dad would be like, "What are you watching? Why are you watching this?"
Have you watched Alone before? Have you
No,
seen
I've never
that?
watched Alone, no.
I think a wrestler would be so good at that show. Like it's on Netflix. I just started watching it, and Willie Saylor's been tweeting about it. But it's kind of like Naked and Afraid, if you're familiar with that one. But they actually get like clothes. They get like a cover, but it's not like a certain amount of days. They put 10 people in a location, and the last person standing wins $500,000. So it could be, 3 weeks, or it could be 6 months, or it could be a year. Okay. Whoever's the last. So it's pretty. I don't know. It's kind of cool. But I think a wrestler would be good on that, just because most wrestlers have had to gone to a dark place and they've been alone.
Yeah.
Hell, you'd be pretty good at that.
Yeah.
So. All right, so we got a couple people. Anthony from Arizona, Hector Cantu, GWA for life. So thank you guys for coming in here and commenting. I don't have anything else for you. I think for wrestlers out there that are watching this, and you haven't really been public about it, and that's okay, right? What is there to say? You have concussions, and that's a very, the guy over here's dealing with concussions, so it's a very real thing, and a very serious thing. But I think it's important. I'm glad that you came on just to talk about being clear up here in our sport to being here and almost out.
Yep. For
medical, and I'm assuming probably a little bit of mental too. So, and then now you're right here now. Well, it's not in your control right now, right? NCAA, COVID, who knows what's going to happen. So going forward, you talked about the year, they talked about the medical, where's that in the process? That's something you don't worry about until after.
Yeah. So I think I'm 100% because I didn't step on a mat whatsoever. So I think we're going to know like after my 5th year. So I have this year, next year, and then possibly another year here at Iowa State. Okay. So 3 more years of being a Cyclone.
Wow.
So yeah, so hopefully I'll get that and everything goes well. So
3 more years as a Cyclone.
Yeah.
So I'll give you chills?
25 when I'm all said and done.
So you're close to Miklas.
I'm really Miklas level. Yeah.
You're close to Miklas. Is he like giving you like under the table, hey, you gotta do this,
Yeah.
You want another year, you gotta do this type of deal?
Yeah, we'll get another year, go to OTC, whatever. You gotta do what you gotta do. For however long you gotta stay in college wrestling, do it.
Yeah, that's not the goal, but so you're graduating, so really the only thing I'd worry about is I imagine probably do some graduate school probably at that point too. Mm-hmm. So business
grad.
Yep. Great, man. All right, well, I got nothing else for you, and I appreciate you coming on the show. Wish you health wise first, and Iowa State, they're gonna need you 133 pounds. That team. I listened to you on Stalemates. I listened to that before I came here today a little bit. Shout out Zach Bogle doing great things with Stalemates. Stick to Stalemates, and you're the hype for Iowa State, right? That's kind of what you wanted to be when you came to Iowa State, you want to be the guy to turn it around a little bit. And now you have the opportunity, team, to put it together a little bit. I guess I kind of want to go a little bit through kind of what this team looks like a little bit, because the upper weights, a lot of people have a little bit of questions, right? And I wrestle. There's a lot of Iowa hometown, homegrown people here a little bit. What are you excited about this lineup a little bit? I mean, it's not set in stone. I don't want you to put anybody out there, but a guy like Marcus Coleman,
he's
Shapiro.
He's a big boy right now. Marcus Coleman's getting big. Weighing about 213 right now, and he's looking to go 97 just because he wanted to grow this year and just wanted to wrestle and not have to worry about cutting weight or anything like that. So
what's a Coleman versus Gremmel match look like right now?
I think Coleman's putting the brakes on him. I think Coleman's beating him up. I've seen it a couple times where Coleman's beating up Gremmel and then Gremmel's beating up Coleman, but Gremmel's a hard guy. He's a big boy. He's a hard guy to score around.
Yeah, Gremmel's fun, dude.
He's awesome. He's a different cat.
I referred to him as, Brett Haas was on my show, coached him. I referred to Gremmel a little bit as like the Dennis Rodman of Iowa State. Like he needs that time out of the room.
Yeah, he does.
To kind of be himself, I guess.
Yeah.
Another guy I want to talk a little bit about too, that gets a lot of publicity around the Iowa State team, is Mr. Carr.
Yeah.
Can you touch a little bit about what maybe he has done for that team? High level team, teammate, big time recruit. A lot of people know who the hell he is, obviously, coming in there, and then maybe some of these other guys that aren't there at that level, that have been at that level. What has that done for the team for you guys?
Yeah, he just brings a different attitude, because that dude's kind of different. Dave's different from all of us. He just always has a dang smile on his face. It don't matter what he's doing. If he's getting taken down in the room or wrestling in the room, outside, he's always happy-go-lucky. And it brings the vibe up a little bit in the wrestling room when, hey, you're cutting weight, feeling bad, but once you see him being happy, you're like, all right, well, why can't I be happy? So he's a different guy, because he's kind of the face of Iowa State wrestling right now. He's what you want to be like. Had a great freshman year. But yeah, David Carr is the freaking man. He's going to do great things, and I'm so excited to watch him wrestle again.
That's what I've noticed is he is just always damn happy, man. It's hard to. He reminds me. Willie's. I feel like he's always happy. He puts you at ease when you're not. When you're not supposed to be at ease, I guess is what Willie does. I guess for me, but wrapping this up a little bit about maybe how some fans, because the Cyclone Regional Training Center was red hot with events and doing that. So in September, you guys have some golf outings. Is that something that you guys will be at? Right now, what are your thoughts on that? I mean,
honestly,
do you think you can?
I found out about the golf outing probably like a week ago. So
Do you golf?
No, I don't golf. I haven't I golfed when I was little, but I'm not too good.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. Dresser usually tells us if we have to be somewhere, he'll tell us about 24 hours in advance. So we got to cancel whatever plans we had going on and go wherever we need to be for CRTC.
I remember the phonathon. Phonathon. Shapiro setting me up for that. I do remember that. That was something different.
No, that was cool. It was really cool. He told us, you just gotta be here. We're gonna have a good time. Make phone calls is all you have to do. And
team bonding type of deal too.
The whole team was there. You had to be there for like a couple hours, and that was it.
So if you are a Cyclone fan and you've been kind of itching to kind of get back at this, like we all are, the CRTC golf outings. There's one in Humboldt on September 19th. And then there's one in Ames on September 23rd. So coming up here next month, you can check those out on Twitter at CycloneRTC to get all that information, how you get signed up and whatnot. Looks like you can get in touch with Robin Wilson if you're not familiar with her. She's a rock star for you guys. Always been good to us as well. So best of luck. Thank you for coming on, and tell your dad I said hi. And we'll be, I didn't get your sister on. She's like in my backyard here.
Yeah.
Gosh, I want to close the show up, but it brings me up to just another topic. But we'll be, so you want to see another Gomez here at Grandview. maybe I'll just get her on, let her just talk a little bit about, what she's done. But super cool to have wrestling in the family and see women's wrestling growing like this. So for her to have an opportunity at Grandview and just anywhere, it is great. So pretty cool to see.
No, I'm super happy for her and what she's doing. She's doing awesome, and she's gonna do awesome things this year if they have a season or whatnot. So I'm excited for her.
All right, that's Austin Gomez from Iowa State NCAA qualifier, and going to be maybe a 26-year-old graduate for Iowa State, hopefully, if everything goes right for him. If you miss any part of the show, again, you can subscribe to our Rockfin page for free. All our podcasts for free. We've got some premium content on there coming up, and then you can get it on the Facebook page anytime as well. So if you miss any part of that, please do that. If you got any comments for us, please drop them in there. Next week, pumped up to have Rachel Waters. If you follow women's wrestling, you know the name, right? Rachel Waters. She's been, trying to get on that world team, the senior world team, Olympic team. She's represented Iowa to the highest level really anybody else has in the state of Iowa. And she's at William Penn now as assistant coach. They've got a new women's program out there too. So she forego a season of eligibility actually to be able to take that opportunity. So looking forward to talking with her next week. That will be next week right here, Wednesday at 12 o'clock. So everybody, thanks for watching. Until next time, we'll see you at iwrestle.com. Thanks.
He's made a lot of changes in his life, and he's